Hare Krishna, Pranam dear devotees. Thank you all for joining. Let's start with Kirtan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेषा पुण्यवादी पाश्चात्यदिशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय जगद्गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपदा निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल Hare Krishna. So welcome. Thank you all for joining. So we'll continue our reading of Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 15. And we had done till shloka number 15. So we'll continue after that. So this chapter is about Lord Chaitanya feeling the preparation. I'm sorry. Yeah. So let's just recap what we had read last week. The chapter is entitled The Transcendental Madness of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we had read that how Lord Chaitanya is in very deep feelings of ecstasy, remembering Lord Krishna, and he's experiencing this ocean of ecstatic love for Krishna. And he's very overwhelmed with these feelings, and like it is mentioned in verse 5 that he would maintain himself in three stages of consciousness. So either he was completely in ecstasy or somewhere in the middle, or sometimes he was in full external consciousness, but he was always merged in ecstatic emotion. But it is mentioned that just as a potter's wheel turns without the potter touching it, so the Lord's bodily activities, the external activities, etc., were going on, but internally he was completely merged in thoughts of Lord Krishna. And one day, while looking at the deity of Lord Jagannath, Lord Chaitanya gets darshan of Lord Krishna, the form of Lord Krishna, the son of Nand Maharaj. And it is mentioned that his five senses immediately became absorbed in attraction for the five attributes of Lord Krishna. So it was like he was in a tug of war, the single mind of Lord Chaitanya and his senses, everything was being pulled towards in different directions by the different transcendental attributes of Lord Krishna. And then the Opalabhog ceremony of Lord Jagannath concluded. So we discussed last week that this is where, on a stone, the bhoga is offered to Lord Jagannath. And so Lord Chaitanya, he was in such ecstasy that that he was like we mentioned, he was not fully in complete bodily consciousness. So once the Upala Bhog ceremony takes place, the devotees take Lord Chaitanya home, and that night Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with Swarup Damodar Goswami Ramanand Rai, they were there with him. So he keeps his hands around their neck and he begins to lament. So his mood of separation from Lord Krishna, his ecstasy is so great that he is in that lamentation mood. And here that parallel is being made to the feeling that Radharani used to have. And she was also very agitated due to feeling of separation from Krishna. And then she speaks this verse to Vishakha Devi in her great anxiety and restlessness. And here, reciting that same verse which Radharani had recited, so here, reciting that same verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expressed his burning emotions to Ramanand Rai and Swarup Damodar Goswami. And this verse is from Govinda Lilamrit, which is another beautiful book written by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And the last verse that we had read was verse number 15, where it is mentioned that Lord Sri Krishna's beauty, the sound of his words, and the vibration of his flute, his touch, his fragrance, and the taste of his lips are full of an indescribable sweetness. When all these features attract my five senses at once, my senses all ride together on the single horse of my mind, but want to go in five different directions. So this verse and the upcoming verses are going to be quoted from this very beautiful book called Govinda Lilamrit. So let's read from 16 onwards. We'll all read 5 verses each. Okay, starting with Sumati Mataji. Mataji, please read from 16 to 20.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams Mataji. Text 16. Saki he shuna mora dukhera karana, mora panchendriya gana, mahalampata dasyu gana, sabe kahe hara paradana. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Oh my dear friend, please hear the cause of my misery. My five senses are actually extravagant rogues. They know very well that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they still want to plunder Krishna's property. 17. Mataji, is there any particular meter for this, Mataji?
Mataji, you can read like this. Eka ashva eka kshane, pancha pancha dike tane. That will work.
Okay, Mataji. Eka ashva eka kshane, pancha pancha dike tane, eka mana kone dike ya. Eka kale sabe thane, gela godhara parane, ei dukha sahana ya. Translation: my mind is just like a single horse being ridden by the five senses of perception, headed by sight. Each of my senses wants to ride that horse, and thus they pull my mind in five directions simultaneously. In what direction will it go? If they all pull at one time, certainly the horse will lose its life. How can I tolerate this atrocity? Text 18. Indriyena karirosha, iha sabara kaha dosha, Krishna rupadira maha akarshana, rupadi pancha panchetane, gela godara parane, mora dehe narahe jivana. Translation: my dear friend, if you say, just try to control your senses, what shall I say? I cannot become angry at my senses. Is it their fault? Krishna's beauty, sound, touch, fragrance, and taste are by nature extremely attractive. These five features are attracting my senses, and each wants to drag my mind in a different direction. In this way, the life of my mind is in great danger. Just like a horse ridden in five directions at once, thus I am also in danger of dying. Text 19. Krishna Rupamrita Sindhu Dahara Taranga Bindu Eka Bindu Jagat Dubaya त्रिजागते यता नारी तारा चित्त उच्चगिरी ताहा डुबाई आगे उठी धाया. Translation: The consciousness of each woman within the three worlds is certainly like a high hill, but the sweetness of Krishna's beauty is like an ocean. Even a drop of water from that ocean can flood the entire world and submerge all the high hills of consciousness. Text 20. कृष्णेरवचनमाधुरी नानारसनर्मधारी तार अन्याय कथननायाय जगतेर नारीरकाणे माधुरी गुणे बन्दितानि ठानाठानि कानेर प्राणयाय. Translation: The sweetness of Krishna's joking words plays indescribable havoc within the hearts of all women. His words bind a woman's ear to the qualities of their sweetness. Thus, there is a tug of war, and the life of the ear departs. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, all these verses, the beauty of Lord Krishna is being described, and also the fact that how the senses are being completely pulled towards the different attractive attributes of Lord Krishna. So, like in verse 16, we are reading that there is misery. Why is there misery? Because the senses are being described as extravagant rogues. They know very well that Krishna is a supreme Lord, but they still want to plunder Krishna's property. So, this is everything is Krishna's, everything is all the beauty actually belongs to Krishna, and the mind is getting attracted to that. So, that is why, the mind is trying to enjoy something, but actually, everything is to be enjoyed by Lord Krishna. So, mind, this is why it is being described as a rogue, a plunderer. And then in the next verse, interestingly, it is being described that the mind is just like a single horse being ridden by the five senses of perception, headed by sight. So, like sight, touch, feeling, all these things, smell, all these different senses, headed by sight. So, the sight of Krishna, the beauty of Krishna is so attractive that the mind is just one, but the senses are five. So, the mind is being pulled by a single horse being pulled in five different directions. Each of my senses wants to ride that horse. So the mind wants to enjoy each of those senses, and thus the mind is being pulled in five different directions simultaneously. Then it is mentioned in what direction will it actually go, and all of them, if they pull at the same time, then the horse is being pulled in five different directions. So it will definitely lose its life. So how can I tolerate this atrocity? So, my dear friend, if you say just try to control your senses, what shall I say? I cannot become angry at my senses. Is it their fault? So, the senses are being attracted to Krishna. So, if someone says that, okay, just control your senses, don't let them get attracted to Krishna. So, is that possible? Is it the fault of the senses that they are getting attracted? Because Krishna's beauty, his sound, touch, fragrance, taste, they are extremely attractive by nature. So, it is not possible to not get attracted to them. So these five features are attracting my senses, and each wants to drag my mind in a different direction. So the Krishna's beauty, that is the sight, then Krishna's sound, touch, fragrance, taste, everything is attractive. So in this way, the life of my mind is in great danger because the mind is being attracted in five different directions. Thus, I am also in danger of dying. Then it is mentioned that in each woman in the entire within the three worlds is certainly like a high hill, but the sweetness of Krishna's beauty is like an ocean. Even a drop of water from that ocean can flood the entire world and submerge all the high hills of consciousness. So yeah, even though the women in this world may be attractive, but their beauty is nothing compared to the beauty of Krishna, because their beauty is being compared to the high hills, but Krishna's beauty is like the ocean, and just a drop of this ocean can completely submerge all these high hills. And the sweetness of Krishna's joking words, they play havoc with the hearts of all women. His words bind a woman's ear to the qualities of their sweetness. So thus there is a tug of war, and the life of the ear departs. So in these five verses, we have read the description of Krishna's beautiful attributes and how they are pulling the mind in five different directions. Okay. Moving forward, Swati Mataji, the next five verses. Hare Krishna. Swati Mataji. Mataji, we're not able to hear you. You're unmuted.
Hare Krishna.
Hi. Yeah,
Hare
now we are able to hear. Yes, Mataji. Please go on.
Krishna. कृष्ण अंगशुशीतला की कही मुतारा भला ख्यातय जिने कोटि नुडु चंदान सशील सशी सशीला नारीर वक्षा थाह आकर्षिते दक्ष आकर्षये नारी घनमान. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna's transcendental body is so cool that it cannot be compared even to the sandalwood pulp or to millions upon millions of moons. It expertly attracts the breast of all women, which resemble high hills. Indeed, the transcendental body of Krishna attracts the minds of all women within the three worlds. कृष्णांग सौरभ्य भरा मृग मध मदहरा नीलो नीलोत्पलैर हरे गर्वधाना जगत नारीर नासा तार भीतर पते वासा नारी गणे करे आकर्षण. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The fragrance of Krishna's body is more maddening than the aroma of musk, and it surpasses the fragrance of a bluish lotus flower. It enters the nostrils of all women of the world and making a nest there, thus attracts them. कृष्णेर अधरामृत ताते कर्पूर मंडस्मित स्वमधुर्य हरे नारी रमान अन्यत्र छाडाय शोभा न पहले मानिक शोभा वज्र नारी घनेरा मूलाधारा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna's lips are so sweet when combined with the camphor of his gentle smile that they attracts the minds of all women, forcing them to give up all other attractions. If the sweetness of Krishna's smile is unobtainable, great mental difficulties and lamentation result. That sweetness is the one only wealth of the gopis of Vrindavana. एतकाहि गौरहरि दुई जनर कांथधारी काहे शून स्वरूप रामाराय काहन करुण काहन याना काहन गेले कृष्ण भाना दुन्हे मोरे काहे से उपाय. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After speaking in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu caught hold of the necks of Ramananda Raya and Swarupa Damodara. Then the Lord said, "My dear friends, please listen to me. What shall I do? Where shall I go? Where can I go to get Krishna? Please, both of you, tell me, how can I find him?" Text 25. एई माता गौरा प्रभु प्रतिदिने धीने विफल कानेर स्वरूप रामानंद साने. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus observed in transcendental plains, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lamented day after the day in the company of Swarupa Damodara Goswami and Ramananda Raya. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so what words, Krishna's joking words, what are they doing? What effect are they having on the hearts of all the women? So it's mentioned that his words bind a woman's ear to the qualities of their sweetness. Krishna's words are so sweet that they're binding the hearts of the women. And thus there is a tug of war and the life of the ear departs. So, like the previous section that we were reading, the senses being pulled. So again, that same thing is being continued. And different attributes of Krishna are being described. Now, Krishna's body in this verse, the next verse, that Krishna's transcendental body is so cool that it cannot be compared even to sandalwood pulp or to millions upon millions of moons. So the moon rays are very calming and cooling, right? And the sandalwood is also having lot of cooling properties. But even sandalwood pulp, millions upon millions of moons, their coolness also, it does not compare to the coolness of Krishna's transcendental body. His body is so cool, it is so calming. And then, it is mentioned that it expertly attracts the breasts of all women which resemble high heels. Indeed, the transcendental body of Krishna attracts the minds of all women within the three worlds. So Krishna's body is so attractive that it is attracting everyone. No? Generally, it is mentioned that women are attractive, but even they are being attracted fully to Krishna's beauty. Next is Krishna's fragrance. The fragrance of Krishna's body, it is mentioned that it is more maddening than the aroma of musk. So, musk is considered to be very, very fragrant and very nice smelling. But even, his Krishna's body is even more than, it's mentioned that even more maddening than the aroma of musk, and it surpasses the fragrance of the bluish lotus flower, which is considered to be very fragrant. It enters the nostrils of all women of the world and making a nest there thus attracts them. So this fragrance of Krishna, it enters the women's heart and it stays there. That is why it is mentioned that it makes a nest there. So it's not like it's something that comes and goes. It stays there. And Krishna's lips are so sweet that when combined with the camphor of his gentle smile, they attract the minds of all women, forcing them to give up all other attractions. So now the beauty of Krishna's lips, it is so attractive that women, they are forgetting all other attractions and just thinking about Krishna. Then sweetness of Krishna's smile. If the sweetness of Krishna's smile is unobtainable, with great mental difficulties and lamentation result. So if someone is not able to get the sweetness of Krishna's smile, if they're not able to see Krishna smiling, then what happens? That they face mental difficulties, they face a lot of lamentation. That sweetness is the only wealth of the gopis of Vrindavan. So for the gopis of Vrindavan, they didn't want anything, right? They just wanted Krishna's sweetness. And that is all, that is mentioned, that is the only wealth of the gopis of Vrindavan. Then, after speaking in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu caught hold of the necks of Ramanand Rai and Swarup Damodar. So, this is all being narrated by Lord Chaitanya, right? So, we have read that how he had put his hands around the neck of Ramanand Rai and Swarup Damodar Goswami, right? So, after speaking in this way, he caught hold of the necks of Ramanand Rai and Swarup Damodar. And then the Lord said, "My dear friends, please listen to me. What shall I do? Where shall I go? Where can I go to get Krishna? Please, both of you, tell me how I can find him." So the Lord is describing Krishna's beauty, and then he's lamenting that, tell me, where can I find Krishna? Where should I go that I can find Krishna? And thus absorbed in transcendental pain, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lamented day after day in the company of Sri Damodar Goswami and Ramanand Rai. So he was absorbed in this transcendental pain of separation from Krishna, and he's lamenting. He's lamenting day after day in the company of Sarup Damodar Goswami and Ramanand Rai. So, Sarup Damodar Goswami and Ramanand Rai are there to pacify Lord Chaitanya, to calm him. But the lamentation of the Lord is so great that he's passing day after day in that feeling of separation. Okay, let's move forward. Chandana Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Mataji,
Yes,
this
Mataji.
lamentation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the bhava of Radharani, no?
Yes, Mataji, that bhav of separation from Krishna.
Yeah, okay, thank
Yes,
you.
Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji, which chapter we are in, Mataji? Antya Lila, which chapter?
15th chapter, Mataji. 15th chapter. Now we are going to read 26 onwards.
Thank
Chandana
you.
Mataji.
Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat pranams.
Pranam Mataji.
Text 26. Seidu jana prabhure kare ashpasana swarupa gaya raya kare shloka patana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. To enhance the ecstatic mood of the Lord, Swarupa Damodar Goswami would sing appropriate songs and Ramananda Raya would recite suitable verses. In this way, they were able to pacify him. Karnamrita Vidyapati Sri Gita Govinda Ihara Shloka Gite Prabhura Karayananda. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord especially liked to hear Bilva Mangala Thakura's Krishna Karnamrita, the poetry of Vidyapati, and Sri Gita Govinda by Jayadev Goswami. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt great pleasure in his heart when his associates chanted verses and sang songs from these books. Text 28. Ekadina Mahaprabhu Samudra Tire Aite Pushpera Udyana Tatha Dekhena Achambite. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One day, while going to the beach of by the sea, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly saw a flower garden. Vrindavana Brahmetaha Pashiladhaya Prema Veshe Bhuletaha Krishna Anveshiya. Lord Chaitanya mistook that garden for Vrindavan and very quickly entered it. Absorbed in ecstatic love of Krishna, he wandered throughout the garden searching for him. Text 30. Rase Radhalaya Krishna Antadhana Kaila Pache Saki Ganayache Chahi Bedaila. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After Krishna disappeared with Radharani during the Rasa dance, the gopis wandered in the forest looking for him. In the same way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wandered in that garden by the sea. Thank you, Mataji. Hari
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So another parallel being drawn in this section, that it is mentioned that to enhance the ecstatic mood of the Lord, Swarup Damodar Goswami would sing appropriate songs and Ramanand Rai would recite suitable verses. In this way, they were able to pacify him. Now, Lord Chaitanya is feeling separation from Krishna, so they would sing appropriate song which would somehow pacify the Lord, calm him down a little. And he especially liked to hear Bilva Mangal Thakur's Krishna Karnamrit, the poetry of Vidyapati, and Sri Gita Govinda by Jaydev Goswami. He would feel great pleasure in his heart when his associates chanted verses and sang songs from these books. So they would sing these beautiful verses, each of which are, they have concentrated bhakti, concentrated glorification of Lord Krishna. So this would pacify Lord Chaitanya. And then one day he was going to the beach by the sea and he saw a flower garland, a flower garden. And for him, it was like Vrindavan. Like, he saw Chatak Parvat and for him that was like Govardhan. Now he's seeing this garden, flower garden, and it reminds him of Vrindavan. So he mistook that garden from Vrindavan and very quickly entered it. And absorbed in ecstatic love of Krishna, he wandered throughout the garden searching for him. So in Vrindavan, like Radharani was looking for Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is looking for Krishna again here. So that same parallel being drawn. But after Krishna disappeared with Radharani during the Rasa dance, the gopis wandered in the forest looking for him. In the same way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wandered in that garden by the sea. So when Krishna disappeared when the Rasa dance was going on, at one point, Krishna disappeared with Radharani, and the gopis were wandering in the forest looking for Krishna. In the same way, here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wandered in that garden by the sea. Here he is looking for Krishna too, like the gopis were looking for Krishna during the Ras dance when he had disappeared. Okay, moving forward, 31 onwards. Is the background sound disturbing devotees? And I'll move to some other place. Is it disturbing?
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji, no.
Okay, I'm sorry, the situation at home is such right now that I'm not able to stop the sounds around me. So
No, it is
if I
all right,
need
Mataji, no, nothing problem.
oh, okay, let's move forward. So Rekha Rangamataji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranamam.
Mataji.
Text 31. Say bhava, say bhava veshe prabhu pratitaru lata shloka padi padi chahi bole yatha tatha. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Absorbed in the ecstatic mood of the gopis, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wandered here and there. He began to inquire after Krishna by sorry, after Krishna by quoting verses to all the trees and creepers. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then quoted the following 3 verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 32. Chitta Priya Leila Pamasana Ashana Kovidhara Jam Kovidhara Jamba Arka Bilva Pag Bakulamra Kadamba Nipaha E Anye Prarartha E Anye Parartha Bhavaka Yamunopakulaha Samasthanu Krishna Padavim Rahitatmanam Naha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The gopis said, O Chuta tree, Priyala tree, Panasa, Asana, and Kovidara, O Jambu tree, O Arka tree, O Bel, Bakula, and Mango, O Kadamba tree, O Nipa tree, and all other trees living on the bank of the Yamuna for the welfare of others. Please let us know where Krishna has gone. We have lost our minds and are almost dead. Kachit tulasi kalyani govinda charana priye sahatvali kuler bibrahad drishtaste ati priyo achyuta. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. O all auspicious Tulasi plant, you are very dear to Govinda's lotus feet, and he is very dear to you. Have you seen Krishna walking here wearing a garland of your leaves, surrounded by a swarm of bumblebees? Text 34. Malati adar siva kachin mallike jati yuthike pritim vo janayana yatha karasparshena madhava. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O plants of Malati flowers, Mallika flowers, Jati and Yuthika flowers, have you seen Krishna passing this way, touching you with his hand to give you pleasure? Text 35. Amrapana sapiyala jambu kovidara tirtha vasi sabekara para upakara. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, O mango tree, O jackfruit tree, O piyala, jambu, and kovidara trees, you are all inhabitants of a holy place. Therefore, kindly act for the welfare of others. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. We both. So here in verse 31, it is mentioned that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is wandering here and there in the ecstatic mood of the gopis, and he began to inquire by quoting verses. He is inquiring to the trees and creepers, and these 3 verses are from Srimad Bhagavatam, where firstly the gopis are saying to the trees, to the Priyala tree, Chuta tree, Panasa, Asana, Kovidara, Jambu tree, Arka tree, Bel, Bakula, Mango, all these different trees which are on the bank of the Yamuna. And they are saying that for the welfare of others, please let us know where Krishna has gone. We have lost our minds and are almost dead. So these verses are coming from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then to the Tulsi plant, that Kachit Tulasi Kalyani, oh, all auspicious Tulsi plant, you're very dear to Govinda's lotus feet, and he's very dear to you. Have you seen Krishna walking here wearing a garland of your leaves surrounded by a swarm of bumblebees? So, this is all the gopis talking to the different trees and plants in Vrindavan. Then to the plants with the Malati flowers, Mallika flowers, Jati, Utika flowers. Have you seen Krishna passing this way? So basically, it's the same mood of looking for Krishna that the gopis had. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is reciting these verses. And then he continued that, oh mango tree, oh jackfruit tree, oh piyala, jambu, and kovidara trees, you are all inhabitants of a holy place. Therefore, kindly act for the welfare of others. What is that welfare? That you tell us. Tell us where Krishna is. Okay. Let's move onwards, forwards. Krishnamurti Prabhu,
Hare
36 to
Hare
40.
Krishna Prabhu Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Krishna tomara iha aila paila darshana Krishnera uddesha kahi rakha Rakaha Jivana. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Have you seen Krishna coming this way? Kindly tell us which way he has gone and save our lives. Text 37. Uttaranapana punaha kare anumana ye saba purusha jati Krishnena sakhara samana. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. When the trees did not reply, the gopis guessed, since all these trees belonging to the male class, all of them must be friends of Krishna. Text 38. ये ये केने ये केने कही बे कृष्णरा उद्देश्य अमया ये स्त्री जाति लाता अमरा शक्ति प्राया. Translation basic Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Why should the trees tell us where Krishna has gone? Let us rather inquire from the creepers. They are female and are therefore like friends to us. Text 39. अवश्य कहिबे अवश्य कहिबे पंचचे कृष्णेन कृष्णेर दर्शने एता अनुमानी पूछे तुलसी आदि गाने. Translation by C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. They will certainly tell us where Krishna has gone, since they have seen him personally. Guessing in this way, the gopis inquired from the plants and creepers headed by Tulasi. And okay. Text 40. तुलसी मालती युति माधवी मल्लिके तुम्हारा प्रिय कृष्ण इला तुम्हारा अंतिके. Translation by श्री भक्तिवेदांत प्रभुपाद की जय. O Tulasi, O Malati, O Yuti, Madhavi and Mallika, Krishna is very dear to you. Therefore, he must have come near to you. Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna Pranam Prabhu. Thank you so much. So they are asking, and Chaitanya, like the gopis were asking the different trees and plants. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also in the same mood. So he's saying, have you seen Krishna coming this way? Kindly tell us which way he has gone and save our lives. This is what the gopis were telling to the plants and trees. And when the trees did not reply, the gopis, what did they say? Oh, you must be men. You must be belonging to a male class. You must be all friends of Krishna. So then why will you tell us you are all friends of Krishna? That is why you're not telling us where Krishna has gone. So instead of inquiring from the trees, let us go and inquire from the creepers. They are female and so they'll understand our feelings, our emotions. They are like friends to us. So let's go inquire from the creepers. They will certainly tell us where Krishna has gone since they have seen him personally. And guessing in this way, the gopis inquired from the plants and creepers headed by Tulsi Maharani. And then to Tulsi Maharani, they say that, oh Tulsi, oh Malati, oh Yuti Madhavi Mallika, Krishna is very dear to you. Therefore, he must have come near you. So they're saying that Krishna is very affectionate to you. So for sure, he would have come close to you. So you please tell us where Krishna has gone. Okay. Yeah. Let's read forward. Gandhi Mati Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
होती हूँ. तुम्ही सब होई हमारा शकीरा सामाना Krishna desha kahi sabe raka parana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation: you are all just like dear friends to us. Kindly tell us which way Krishna has gone and save our lives. Text 42. Uttara napana puna bhavena antaraye yeha Krishna dasi baye na kahi amare. Mataji scroll, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Translation: when they still received no reply, the gopis thought, these plants are all Krishna's maid servants, and out of fear they will not speak to us. Text 43. आगे आगे मृगी गाना देखी कृष्णांग गंधपाना तारा मुख देही पूछे न Nirnaya Kariya. Translation: the gopis then came upon a group of she-deer. Smelling the aroma of Krishna's body and seeing the faces of the deer, the gopis inquired from them to ascertain if Krishna was nearby. Hare Krishna. Text 44. Mataji, little... okay. अपि येन पत्नी उपगता प्रियायः गात्रैस् तन्वान् त्रशंसकीषु निर्वृत्तिम् अच्युतो वः कान्ताङ्गा सङ्गकुचा कुङ्कुमरञ्जितायाः कुन्दास्रज कुलपतिर् ईहवाति गन्धः. Translation: Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Oh, wife of the deer, Lord Krishna has been embracing his beloved, and thus the kunkuma powder or her raised breasts has covered his garland of kunda flowers. The fragrance of this garland is flowing here. Oh, my dear friend, have you seen Krishna passing this way with his dearmost companion, increasing the pleasure of the eyes of all of you?"
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I think not able to hear you, Mataji. Gandhimati Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Mataji?
Yeah, Mataji, your voice was not audible for a while.
Okay. Now Mataji?
Yeah, now I can. Yeah, please read 45. Yeah.
Okay. Kaham girata rata saha Sri Krishna sarvatha tomaya sukha deti haila nahika anyata. Translation: oh dear doll, Sri Krishna is always very pleased to give you pleasure. Kindly inform us whether he passed this way in the company of Srimati Radharani. We think they must certainly have come this way. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So in this section, again, that conversation with the creepers is continuing. So the gopis say that you are just like dear friends to us. So kindly tell us which way Krishna has gone and save our lives. So for gopis, it was to that extent, seeing Krishna was getting their life back, and not being with Krishna was like losing their lives. So then when they still receive no reply, the gopis are thinking that these plants are all Krishna's maid servants, and out of fear, they will not speak to us. So then the gopis came upon a group of she deer, and smelling the aroma of Krishna's body and seeing the faces of the deer, the gopis inquired from them to ascertain if Krishna was nearby. So from talking to the creepers and the plants, they now talk to the she deer. Okay, so they inquire from them that if was Krishna nearby. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, because see, we have to understand that the feeling of separation is intense, what the gopis were feeling and what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is feeling. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is really in the mood of Radharani, really in the mood of the gopis. So he is now saying that, oh wife of the deer, Lord Krishna has been embracing his beloved, and thus the kumkum powder on her raised breast has covered his garland of kunda flowers. The fragrance of this garland is flowing here. Oh, my dear friend, have you seen Krishna passing this way with his dearmost companion, increasing the pleasure of the eyes of all of you? So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is quoting this verse, this very beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, again, 10th canto. And then moving forward, that, oh, do Shri Krishna is always very pleased to give you pleasure. Kindly inform us whether he passed this way in the company of Srimati Radharani. We think they must certainly have come this way. So Krishna and Radharani, they had disappeared. So the gopis were looking for them. So now, after speaking to the plants and creepers, they are speaking to the she deer, to the doe, that Radharani and Krishna, did they pass by here? They must certainly have come this way. So please tell us where they have gone. Okay? Yeah, let's move forward. Shobha Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandar Pranam Mataji, Prithviraj
Pranam
Kaviraj,
Mataji.
Swamiji ji, text what
Jai.
it is. राधा प्रिया सखी अमारा नहीं बहिरंगा धोरा है के जानी तारा ये जे अंग गंगा Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ji. We are not outsiders. We very dear friends of Srimati Radharani. We can perceive the bodily fragrance of Krishna from a distance. That's 47. Radha anga sante kucha kunkuma bhushita Krishna kundha mala gande vayusuva atita. Translation. Krishna has been embracing Srimati Radharani, and the kunkuma powder on her breast has mixed with the garland of kunda flowers decorating his body. The fragrance of the garland has entered the entire atmosphere. Text 48. Krishna ihan chadi gela, ihu vihar virahini, shiva uttara dideyi, nashone kahini. Translation. Lord Krishna has left this place, and therefore the deed and the feeling separation. They do not hear our words, therefore how can they reply? Text 49. आगे वृक्षाधाना देखे पुष्प पाला भारे शाखा सभा भाडियाचे धरती उभारे. Translation. The gopis then came upon many trees, so laden with fruits and flowers that their branches were bent down to the ground. Text 50. श्रीनिधे विस्निधे की सभा करेन नमस्कारा कृष्ण धमना पूछे तारा करिया निर्धारा. Translation. The gopis thought that because all the trees must have seen Krishna pass by they were offering respectful obeisances to him. To be certain, the gopis inquired from the trees. Haribol, Dandat Matam, Pranam Mataji.
Pranam. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So the gopis are continuing their conversation with the doe, the she deer, that we are not outsiders and we are dear friends of Srimati Radharani. So we can perceive the bodily fragrance of Krishna from a distance. That means Krishna has passed by somewhere nearby. And they say that Krishna has been embracing Srimati Radharani. Kumkuma powder on her breast has mixed with the garland of kunda flowers decorating his body. The fragrance of the garland has scented the entire atmosphere. So the gopis were able to smell that wonderful fragrance. And they say that Lord Krishna has left this place and therefore the deer are feeling separation. They do not hear our words, therefore how they can reply. So they are saying that obviously the deer did not reply. So the gopis are saying that the deer, they are also very sad because they are feeling separation from Krishna because Krishna has left this place. So that's why, in that deep separation, that feeling of separation, they do not hear our word. So, how can they reply? Then the gopis came upon many trees so laden with fruits and flowers that their branches were bending down. So, they are saying that Krishna must have gone, he must have passed this way. The trees must have seen Krishna pass this way, and that is why they are bending down, they are offering respectful obeisances to him. And then, just to be certain, they are again inquiring from the trees because they are seeing the trees bending down. They are thinking that they are bending out of respect for Lord Krishna. Okay, moving forward. Divya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
बहुम प्रियं सह उपाद्य गृहीत पद्मो रामानुजास तुलसी कली कुलैरमदानदय अन्वी अन्वीयामा था इह वस तरह प्रणामं किं वा विनन्देति चरण प्रणयवलोकः. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Chaitanya continued, O trees, kindly tell us whether Balrama's younger brother Krishna welcomed your obeisances with loving glances as he passed this way, resting one hand on the shoulder of Srimati Radharani, holding a lotus flower in the other, and being followed by a swan of bumblebee maddened by the fragrance of tulsi flower. Text 52. Priyamukhe
Mataji, there's a purport in 51.
Uh,
This
this was quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.30.12. Text 52. Priyamukhe Branga Pade Taha Nivarata Lila Padma Chalaite Haila Anya Chitte. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. To stop the bumblebees from landing on the face of his beloved, he whisked them away with the lotus flower in his hand, and thus his mind was slightly diverted. Text 53. तुम्हारे प्रण में की कैरचे न अवदान कि नहीं करे न कह वचन प्रमाण. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Did he not pay attention while you offered him obeisances? Kindly give evidences supporting your words. Text 54. Krishnera वियोगे इय सेवक दुखित किब उत्तरे दिब हरे नहीं के संवित. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Separation from Krishna has made these servants very unhappy. Having lost consciousness, how can they answer us? Text 55. एतबली आगे चले यमुनारे कुले देखत न कृष्णे यह कदम बेरतले. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Saying this, the gopi stepped onto the beach by the Yamuna river. There they saw Lord Krishna beneath a kadamba tree. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Pranam. So in this section, this very beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam that Lord Chaitanya quotes, where the gopis are talking to the tree because they had seen the trees bending down. They thought they were offering respects to Krishna, so Krishna must have passed. But just to be sure, they are asking the trees that kindly tell us whether Balram's younger brother Krishna welcomed your obeisances with loving glances as he passed this way, resting one hand on the shoulder of Srimati Radharani, holding a lotus flower in the other, and being followed by a swarm of bumblebees, maddened by the fragrance of tulsi flowers. So they're not asking directly that did Krishna pass this way? They are just assuming that yes, Krishna has passed. So when Krishna passed, you all paid obeisances. So did he reply? Did he reply to your obeisances with loving glances as he passed this way? And they're saying that Radharani was also there with him, and bumblebees were following him. So they're describing the whole thing themselves. Then, to stop the bumblebees from landing on the face of his beloved, he whisked them away with the lotus flower in his hand, and thus his mind was slightly diverted. Did he or did he not pay attention while you offered him obeisances? Then they're saying that give us evidence supporting your words, that what exactly happened. Then there obviously no reply. So they're saying that separation from Krishna has made these servants very unhappy. So they have lost their consciousness. So how can they reply to us? And then saying this, the gopis stepped onto the beach by the Yamuna river. And finally, there they saw Lord Krishna beneath a kadamba tree. So all this, this madness looking for Krishna, that deep separation, talking to the trees, then the creepers and the toe, and then finally to the trees again. Finally, they are able to see Krishna beneath a kadamba tree on the beach by the Yamuna river. Okay. So today's section, we were reading about this parallel being drawn between Lord Chaitanya's feelings of separation for Lord Krishna and the separation that the gopis were feeling in Vrindavan. How the feelings of separation from Krishna are so intense in both the cases. Okay, so we stop here. If there are any questions, any comments, anything you would like to add, any realizations, we can have that for a few minutes. Okay. So we were discussing about the shark-shaped earrings of Krishna. So I had asked my seniors here and our Shiksha Guru, Grace Prema Padmini Mataji, was saying that this is because Krishna is very artistic. So he uses very artistic things in his decoration as well. So that's why the shark-shaped earrings are there. And from another Mataji, I got this pastime, which is of Lord Vitthal wearing Makara Kundal in his ears. So she is actually, she belongs to that region. So she said that once there was a poor fisherman and he didn't have anything to offer to the Lord. So he got two beautiful fishes to offer to Lord. And he was actually a very great devotee of Lord Vittal, but this was his profession. He was very, very poor, but he had only fish. So he offered the fish with love and devotion. And the Lord accepted that and put it in his ears as earrings. So it reminds us, she said that, one is Krishna's reciprocation with his devotees' love, and the other that it also reminds us that we should be very careful about what we should hear and what we should not hear. Like, we should not hear blasphemy of devotees and all those things. So, the different reasons. But one is Krishna's artistic nature. He's very artistic, so he takes these beautiful things for decoration. And one is this story of the fisherman, and also, the ear is very important that we are mindful of what we hear and what we don't hear. Okay, so these are the reasons that I was able to gather. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you for asking that question so we all could understand. Very good. Okay, so we'll stop here today. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय, श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री गुरु महाराज की जय, निताई गौर प्रेम।
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Joining.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you.
Mataji.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nectarian session. Thank you so much.
All very beautiful words. Yes, Mataji. And today we were hearing Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam together.
Yes,
Very
Mataji.
beautiful. Yes, yes.